Hello everyone, welcome back to Kiran's English Hub. So we are continuing with the summaries of 10th class. So far we have completed reading A and B of Unit 1. The theme as we see on the screen, that is personality development. We had completed reading A and reading B both. So we shall today deal with reading C, that is I will do it. It is also one of the inspirational story about a person who is very successful in India itself. Okay, let us straight away get into the text. Yeah, so this reading C. So on the first page itself we can see the portrait or the picture of a great man. So his name will be revealed at the end of the lesson. So until then I'm not going to reveal his name, but I think most of you know his name already. Yeah, let us just quickly go to the lines here. So the title is I will do it. Okay, I will do it. So he was short. Okay, the person whom we are giving speaking about, the whole story is about him. Okay, the whole lines of the text are about him, and finally will the name is disclosed. Okay, so he was short, he was sharp, he was the brightest boy in his class. His seniors used to ask him to solve their difficulties in science. He could have gone unnoticed in a crowd, but once you asked him a question related to physics or maths, there was a spark in his eyes. Okay, so we are speaking about a man who was very short, and he was very short. Okay, and he was the brightest boy in the class, and even his seniors used to come and solve doubts from him. Okay, so for example, if you just try to find him in the crowd, you cannot see him because he is short, but when you go to ask him some questions related to physics or maths, so you will see a spark, okay, a brightness in his eyes. So he could grasp theories of science faster than the speed of light. Okay, so he learns the theories of all science and all faster than the speed of light. Yeah, second paragraph. He came from a poor but educated family. So his family was a little bit poor, but it was educated family. So his father was a high school teacher and an avid reader of English literature. Okay, in the sense voracious reader. He continuously reads English literature, books, stories, and all everything. So he, like all the boys in his class, was trying to get admission into some engineering college. The brighter ones wanted to study in the Indian Institute of Technology, or the IITs. Okay, so his family was poor and his father was a high school teacher, and he loves English literature very much, his father. So just like the other all boys, this boy also wanted to study in one of the famous engineering colleges. Okay, so all the classmates of him wanted to study in the same engineering college, and he also wanted to study in Indian Institute of Technology, or the IITs. So there was entrance test for IIT. This boy, along with his friends, applied to appear for the test. They did not have any special books or coaching. All these IIT aspirants would sit below the shade of a stone mandap. Okay, mandap is just like the floor raised above the ground. Okay, a floor which is built above the ground to sit close to Chamundi Hills in the sleepy towns of Mysore. So he used to prepare for the entrance of IIT, these engineering colleges, by sitting under the shade of Chamundi Hills. Okay, Chamundi Hills are in Mysore. Okay, so he was obviously from Mysore itself. Okay, we can simply come to understand that he is from Mysore. So he was the guide for others. While the others struggled to solve the problems in the question paper, he would smile shyly and solve them in no time. In no time, in the sense, very quickly. Other friends, other classmates who are just sitting along with him and preparing for the entrance test, he was not that much. It was not that much difficult for him. Or they used to struggle a lot to solve the problems, but this man used to solve them within no time. Okay, in a very short time. So he sat alone below a tree and dreamt of studying at IIT. So he used to continuously dream of studying at IIT. So it was the ultimate aim for any bright boy at that age, and it is still today. So he was then only 16 years old. Okay, so at the age of 16 he thought of studying in IIT, okay, and he wanted to get seat in IIT. And in those days and even today, many of the students want to study in IIT for better future. Okay, so the D-Day in the sense the important day. Okay, the D-Day came. He came to Bangalore, stayed with some relatives, and appeared for the entrance test. He did very well, but would only say okay when asked. Okay, so the D-Day came, the important day came of the entrance test. So the entrance test was in Bangalore. He came to Bangalore, and he stayed with his relatives to appear for the entrance test. Okay, so he did well, but he said just only okay. Okay, though he did very much well, he said only okay when someone asked him how did you write the test. So it was the opposite when it came to food. Okay, so when you ask about food, when you want do you want to eat that, do you want to eat this, okay, when somebody asks him like that, it is completely opposite to okay. So when he said okay, it implied bad. Okay, so whenever he says how are you, or how was your journey, or how is your food, when if at all he says okay, that means it is bad. And when he said good, if at all he says good, okay, so it implied or it means okay. Okay, next, when he said excellent, it implied good. Okay, so it doesn't directly express his mood. Okay, so when he says okay, it is bad, and when he says uh, just like good, it implied okay, and when it is excellent, he says good. So completely different, the terminology that he uses to express his feelings is completely different. So his principle was never to hurt anyone. He had just that type of behavior to not to hurt anyone. Okay, his behavior doesn't hurt anyone. That is his expression, way of expression. Next, the IIT entrance results came. He had passed with a high mark. Okay, so what a delight for any student. He was thrilled. He went to his father, who was reading a newspaper. So he got his results finally. So he got a high rank in the IIT exam, IIT entrance test. So it was of course a delight, a happy moment for any student who gets rank in IIT. So he was very much thrilled, he was very much happy, and went to his father, who was reading a newspaper. Anna, I have passed the exam. Okay, Anna is usually a term which is used in Kannada to give respect for elders. Okay, actually her father is also sometimes called as Anna, Appa and all. So well done my boy, I want to join IIT. His father stopped reading the paper. He lifted his head, looked at the boy, and said with a heavy voice. Okay, so when he said, "Now I have passed the exam," his father congratulated him, "Well done, my boy. We have done good job." So when he said, "Appa, I want to join in IIT," okay, IIT college. So as soon as he said that, his father stopped reading the newspaper, and he lifted his head. He looked at him and he started speaking with heavy voice. What was the voice? "My son, you are a bright boy. You know our financial position. You know our financial position. I have 5 daughters to be married of, and 3 sons to educate." Okay, so what is their financial position? Of course, when there are more people or more sons and daughters in the family, it is very difficult for any father who was just a school teacher, to get the daughters married, and to get education for all the other sons also. And meanwhile, the father has 4 daughters, and 3 sons, totally 5 daughters and 3 sons, 8 totally. Okay, so I'm a salaried person, I cannot afford your expenses at IIT. He finally said, "My boy, I cannot afford any expenses at IIT. I am a salaried person, so you can stay in Mysore and study as much as you want. Okay, you need not to go to Chennai, Madras. You just stay back in Mysore and study as much as you want, whatever the course you want to study." So indeed, it was a difficult situation for any father to say no to his bride son. Of course, fathers are very much happy when their sons get a seat in any of the IIT colleges, engineering colleges, which are very good. But here it was of course very much difficult for his father to tell no, but he cannot do anything at that time. But circumstances were like that. Okay, circumstances in the sense conditions were like that. So it was common then for the man to be the single earning member with a large family dependent on him. So in those days, okay, in those days, it was very common that all the family members used to depend on a single person who is earning the money, who is doing a little bit of job. It was common in those days. Yeah, we shall move on to the next page here. So his father was sad that he had to tell the bitter truth to his son, though it was bitter. Okay, it was not that much good result from his father, but that was the truth. But it could not be helped. The boy had to understand reality. Okay, so the boy, he has convinced himself finally because of the family conditions, family circumstances, and all. So the teenager was disappointed. It seemed to it seemed his dreams had burned to ashes. He was so near to fulfilling his fondest hope, yet so far. His heart sank in sorrow. Okay, he suffered a lot. Okay, since his father could not allow him to go to IIT because of the financial conditions, he felt that all his dreams, okay, burned to ashes, and he was also very far in fulfilling his dream, fulfilling his hope, and his heart also sank into sorrow, in the sense his heart was completely in sorrow. So he did not reply. He never shared his unhappiness or helplessness with anybody. He was an introvert by nature. His heart was bleeding, but he did not get angry with anybody. Okay, though his father rejected to go to IIT Madras, this man did not, feel hurt or did not tell anybody, or did not get angry, did not lose his anger on his father, on his family. He just understood the family conditions and just moved forward. So the day came. His classmates were leaving for Madras. Okay, now it is Chennai. It is called as Chennai. So they were taking a train from Mysore to Madras. They have shared very good years in school and college together. He went to station to say goodbye and good luck to them for their future life. Okay, so the finally almost all his friends got seat in Madras, and they were leaving to Madras for their IIT studies. So he also went there to the station Mysore to say goodbye, to say adieu to all his friends who were going to Chennai. So at the station, his friends were already there. So they were excited and talking loudly. The noise was like a chirping of birds. They were all excited and discussing their new hostels, new courses, etc. He was not part of it, so he stood there silently. One of them noticed and said, "You should have made it." Okay, so all his friends before boarding the train, they just were discussing about their future, discussing about their hostels, college, classrooms, and everything. But since he was not going there, not going along with him, with all of them, this boy just stood silently in a corner. And finally one boy said, "You should have made it." Okay, in the sense, you should have come with us. Okay, so he did not reply. He only wished all of them. They waved at him as the train slowly left the platform. So he finally said a bye bye to all of them. So he did not reply anything, and he just wished all of them a very well future. So he stood there even after he could not longer see the train or the waving hands. It was the June of 1962 in Mysore city. Monsoon had set in and it was getting dark. It had started to drizzle, yet he stood there motionless. So as the train was leaving the platform, and it started to rain heavily, everything was dark around him. Drizzle in the sense making small raindrops. Okay, so though the situation was like that, and it was also June of 1962. Okay, in the Mysore city, Mysore railway station, though it was like that, he could not take away his eyes from that leaving train. Okay, he was continuously looking at the train that on the track that left the platform. So he said to himself without any anger or jealousy, all students from IIT study well and do big things in life, but it is not the institutions. Ultimately, it is you, and you alone, you who can change your life by hard work. Okay, so he said to himself, he spoke to himself saying, it is not the institution. Okay, it's not the institution in the sense, it's not the college, or it's not any institution, or it is not any IIT college which changes your future. It is you who have to change your future. It is you who have to do the hard work and change your future. So he believed in himself, not in the institution. So probably he was not aware that he was following the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita. Your best friend is yourself, and your worst enemy is yourself. Okay, so he then said those words to himself, but he didn't know that those quotes are from Bhagavad Gita. And what was in Bhagavad Gita? So your best friend is yourself. Who is your best friend? Yourself. and your worst enemy is also yourself. So when you treat yourself very well, when you take all the, yeah, when you turn all your failures, when you turn all your stumbling blocks into success stones, this we had seen in the previous reading also, okay, in reading B. So he just thought to himself that I am able to make whatever I want to make, okay. So he has become friend for himself. So later he worked very hard and focused on one thing, never bothering about his personal life or comforts. He shared his wealth with others. He never used the help of any caste, community, or political connections to go up in life. So soon after that, he started to work very hard, and he focused on one thing. Okay, what was that? He never bothered about his personal life or personal comforts in the sense happiness, okay, lavishness. And he started to share his wealth with others, other colleagues, and other people who wanted to join his business and all. So he never used to take the help of any caste, okay. For example, if any famous scientist or any famous educationalist is of your caste, people usually go and say, I'm your caste person, please come and join in my company, okay. So those type of behavior was not there for him. So he did not use any community, caste, and political connections to go up in life. A son of a school teacher showed other Indians it was possible to earn wealth legally and ethically. He built a team of people who were equally good. So finally, what he did, he was a son of a school teacher, just a school teacher, and he has shown all the nation that earning wealth legally is not a big matter. Okay, it is possible, and ethically also it is possible. Okay, we need not to earn money, we need not to earn wealth in a illegal way. Okay, so he also built a team of people who were just like thinking just like him. Okay, who were just like want to be independent and do the business in a ethical way. So he became a pioneer of India's software industry and started the information technology wave. So he then started a software industry in India, and that started. It was an information technology wave. Okay, it was just like a birth of Indian technology, information technology in Indian country. So today he has become an icon of simplicity, uncompromising quality, and fairness. Apart from being a philanthropist, he really behaves in the motto powered by intellect and driven by values. Okay, so he then finally became one of the icon of simplicity. Okay, simplicity in the sense, though we are having crores of money around us, being very simple and uncompromising quality. Okay, he doesn't compromise with his problems, he doesn't compromise with his poorness. And finally, apart from all of those things, he is also a philanthropist. Okay, philanthropist in the sense a lover of mankind, a lover of human being. Okay, so he really believes in the motto powered by intellect and driven by values. Okay, he has a motto. The motto is powered by intellect and driven by values. Okay, so he is none other than the Nagavara Ramarao Narayanamurthy, the founder of Infosys, a leading IT company in the world. Okay, so all this lesson is about whom? About the person Narayanamurthy, a famous person who is the founder of Infosys company, Infosys IT company, which is situated in Hyderabad, and it is also one of the most leading company in the world. So it is written by Sudhamurthy. Sudhamurthy, ma'am, she is the wife of Narayana Murthy, Infosys founder. And let us read a bit about her. Sudhamurthy, the wife of Narayana Murthy, is an Indian social worker and author. Okay, she is a social worker and author. So Murthy began her professional career as a computer scientist and engineer. She is also a computer scientist and an engineer. So she is the chairperson of the Infosys Foundation. She is also chairperson of Infosys Foundation. Through this foundation, both this wife and husband help nearly thousands of people who are not having proper health, proper wealth, proper education and all. Okay, so she has founded several orphanages, participated in rural development efforts, supported the movement to provide all Karnataka government schools with computer and library facilities, and established the Murthy Classical Library of India at Harvard University. Very good. Okay, she supported government of Karnataka to provide computer and library facilities in the schools, in the local government schools. And she also established the Murthy Classical Library of India, okay, on her husband name, on under the nation name, okay. Murthy Classical Library of India, where at Harvard University. So Murthy also teaches computer science, okay. Teaches computer, she is also a teacher, she teaches computer science. She composed fiction Dollar Source, okay. She composed a fiction writing, that is, the title is Dollar Source. The present story is a selection from one of her most successful stories, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read, and other stories, okay. So the particular lesson which we have gone through now is taken from How I Taught My Grandmother to Read, and other stories, okay. So she is also one of the successful, we can say that she is one of the successful person who is working along with her husband to develop the society around us, okay. We shall quickly go through some glossary here. So mandap, a raised platform. So D-Day, it is also known a date on which some important is to happen, okay. So an important day, you can call it simply. So Anna, a word used to address a respectable elder or other male, okay. Anna. Next, icon, a famous or thing that people admire in the sense praise, respect, and see as symbol of a particular idea, a way of life, etc. So Narayana Murthy sir, he has been a symbol of icon, a symbol of youth, symbol of a famous personality, and he is also symbol of simplicity, okay. So because of that, he is called as icon. Next, philanthropist in the sense one who devotes his service or wealth for the love of mankind. So both husband and wife, Sudha Murthy and Narayana Murthy, they both are philanthropists, since they devote, okay, devote, they just give all their wealth and service for the love of mankind, for the development of mankind. So with this beautiful inspirational lesson, we shall complete unit 1 of class 10th. So we shall come up with reading 2, unit 2, and reading A in the next video. So still those who did not still subscribe the channel, please subscribe it now, so that you will get the notifications of my next class in the next videos. So see you all, God bless you.